Bears Nation, Ryan Poles just made a move that nobody saw coming, and it's got everything to do with our pass rush situation that's been keeping us up at night. Welcome to Bears News Fan Report, your #1 destination for everything Chicago Bears, where you get the latest breaking news, exclusive updates, and the most detailed analysis on our beloved team. Stick with me through this entire breakdown, because what just went down at Hallis Hall is going to change how we approach the second half of this season, and trust me, you need to hear every single piece of this puzzle. Let me take you back to Week 9. We're riding high with a 5-3 record. Caleb Williams is showing real growth under Ben Johnson, and then disaster strikes. Dayo Odeyingbo goes down with a season-ending Achilles injury. Just like that, our edge rush depth takes a massive hit. Now, for those of you who've been following this team as closely as I have, you know that pass rush has been one of our focal points all season long. Losing a rotational piece like Odeyingbo in the middle of a playoff push is not ideal, and Ryan Poles knew he had to act fast. Here's where things get interesting. As soon as Odeyingbo went down, the speculation started flying. Names were being thrown around, big names, expensive names, game-changing names, and one name in particular kept popping up in every conversation, every mock trade scenario, every analyst's prediction. I'm talking about a proven veteran, a guy who's been terrorizing quarterbacks in the AFC North for years, someone with elite production and a track record that speaks for itself. The connection between Chicago and this player was real, it was legitimate, and people inside the organization were definitely having conversations about what it would take to make it happen. But before I tell you who that player is and what actually went down, let me set the stage for you. We're sitting at 5-3, tied for first place in the NFC North. This isn't some rebuilding season where we're playing for draft position. This is a legitimate playoff run, and Ben Johnson made it crystal clear from day one that he has zero interest in a slow build. He wants to win now, and that means Ryan Poles needs to give him the weapons to make it happen. The question was, how aggressive would Poles be willing to get at the trade deadline? Now, the player everyone was talking about, the one that had Bears fans buzzing on social media, checking their phones every 5 minutes for breaking news, was Trey Hendrickson from the Cincinnati Bengals. And let me tell you, this wasn't just some wild speculation from fans with too much time on their hands. Legitimate NFL insiders were connecting these dots. Hendrickson is an absolute monster off the edge, a proven sack artist who's been one of the most consistent pass rushers in the league over the past few seasons. He's exactly the type of player who could transform a defense overnight. The connection made sense on paper. Cincinnati was struggling, sitting well below 500, and Hendrickson is over 30 years old, with his contract expiring at the end of this season. For a team that's not going anywhere this year, moving him for draft capital would be the smart play. And for us, we're in win-now mode with a rookie quarterback showing real promise, a first-year head coach who's already changed the culture, and a defense that's just one piece away from being truly elite. Hendrickson would have been that piece. But here's where reality crashes into fantasy. Cincinnati wanted a first-round pick for Hendrickson. Let me say that again. A first-round pick for a player who's 31 years old and only under contract for 2 more months. That's a massive ask, and it's the kind of move that can set a franchise back if it doesn't work out. Sure, Hendrickson is talented, but his projected market value is around $133 million, which means if we traded for him, we'd either have to pay him a massive extension or watch him walk in free agency. That's a huge gamble. Ryan Poles had to weigh his options carefully. Do you mortgage the future for a 2-month rental? Do you give up a first-round pick that could be used to build around Caleb Williams for years to come? Or do you find another way to address the need without breaking the bank? And this is where Poles showed exactly why he's one of the best general managers in the league. He didn't panic, he didn't make an emotional decision, and he didn't overpay for a short-term fix. Instead, Poles did what he does best. He found value where others weren't looking. On Tuesday, just 2 days after losing Odeyingbo, Chicago made a move. And no, it wasn't the splashy blockbuster that everyone was expecting. But it was smart, it was calculated, and it addressed the immediate need without sacrificing our future. The Bears acquired defensive end Joe Tryon-Shoyinka from the Cleveland Browns, along with a 7th-round pick, in exchange for a 6th-round pick. That's it. We essentially moved up 1 round in next year's draft and got a young, talented edge rusher in the process. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka isn't Trey Hendrickson, he's not a household name, he's not going to sell jerseys, and he's not the type of acquisition that makes headlines on ESPN. But hear me out, because this move is smarter than you might think. Tryon-Shoyinka was a 1st-round pick back in 2021 by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's only 26 years old, which means he's entering his prime years as a pass rusher. He put up 15 sacks during his time in Tampa, showing he has the ability to get to the quarterback when given opportunities. Things didn't work out in Tampa, which happens sometimes. Players need the right system, the right coaching, the right opportunity to succeed. He signed a 1-year deal with Cleveland worth $4.75 million, essentially a prove-it contract. But here's the problem. He's barely seen the field in Cleveland. Through 8 games, he's only played 31 defensive snaps. That's not because he can't play. It's because Cleveland has other priorities, and he wasn't fitting into their rotation. For us, that's an opportunity. Think about it. We're getting a former 1st-round pick who's still young, still hungry, still has something to prove, and we're giving up essentially nothing to get him. A 6th-round pick for a 7th-round pick swap is meaningless in the grand scheme of things. And unlike the Hendrickson scenario, we're not giving up a 1st-rounder. We're not committing massive money long-term. And we're not putting all our eggs in one basket for a 2-month rental. This is low-risk, high-reward, and that's exactly how you build sustainable success in this league. Tryon-Shoyinka is going to get real playing time here. With Odeyingbo out for the season, there are snaps available, and he'll have every opportunity to prove he belongs. Matt Eberflus knows how to use edge rushers, and our defensive scheme is perfect for a guy with Tryon-Shoyinka's skill set. He's got the speed to get around the edge. He's got the length to disengage from blockers. And most importantly, he's got the motivation. This is his chance to revive his career, to show the league that he's still the player Tampa thought he was when they drafted him in the 1st round. And let's talk about the bigger picture here. We're 5-3, sitting in a playoff position, and we've got a favorable schedule coming up. Next week, we face the New York Giants, a team we're favored to beat by 3.5 points. After that, we've got opportunities to stack wins and separate ourselves in the division. Caleb Williams is getting better every single week. The kid threw for multiple touchdowns against Cincinnati. He's taking care of the football, and he's showing the poise you want to see from a franchise quarterback. Rookie tight end Colston Loveland and rookie running back Kyle Monangai both had breakout performances in Week 9, giving us even more weapons on offense. Ben Johnson's system is clicking, the locker room culture is strong, and we're building something special here. Adding Tryon-Shoyinka gives us another weapon on defense without sacrificing the future. That's smart team building, and that's why I trust Ryan Poles to navigate these situations. He didn't get caught up in the hype, he didn't make a desperation move, and he found a way to improve the roster while keeping our draft capital intact. Now, could we have used Trey Hendrickson? Absolutely. Would he have made an immediate impact? Without question. But at what cost? A 1st-round pick for 2 months of production, and then either a massive contract extension or watching him walk in free agency? That's not sustainable, and it's not how championship teams are built. You build through the draft, you find value in trades, and you make smart financial decisions that allow you to compete year after year. That's exactly what Poles did here. I'm genuinely excited about what Tryon-Shoyinka can bring to this defense. He's going to have fresh legs, he's going to be motivated, and he's going to have opportunities to make plays. And if he performs well, we've got him on a reasonable contract that gives us flexibility moving forward. That's the kind of move that can pay dividends not just for this season, but for years to come. Sometimes the best moves aren't the flashiest ones, they're the smart ones that position you for long-term success. So, here's where we stand, Bears Nation. Ryan Poles explored the Trey Hendrickson option, realized the price was too high, and pivoted to a smarter play by acquiring Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. We addressed our immediate need at edge rusher without mortgaging the future, and we're still in prime position to make a serious playoff run. With Williams developing, Johnson establishing the culture, and our defense getting another piece, the second half of this season is going to be special. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think about this move? Are you happy Poles didn't give up a first-rounder for Hendrickson, or would you have preferred the big splash? What are your expectations for Tryon-Shoyinka in a Bears uniform? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because I read every single one, and I love hearing your perspectives on these roster moves. And listen, if you want to stay ahead of every Bears development, every trade, every injury update, every bit of breaking news, you need to subscribe to Bears News Fan Report right now. Hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, and join our community of diehard Bears fans who refuse to miss a single update. We're building something special here, just like our team is building something special in Chicago. Share this video with your fellow Bears fans. Let's get the conversation going about how we're going to finish this season strong and make some noise in the playoffs. The future is bright, Bears Nation, and I cannot wait to see how this all plays out. Bear down, always and forever.